A silent, modern kitchen where shadows dance on the counter, holding a forgotten, ancient secret. A solitary, tiny seed, resting quietly in a glass jar, waiting for its epic tale. Through the rough skin, time travels back thousands of years into the harsh, golden desert. The blistering sun beats down across this ancient, unforgiving, cracked earth, demanding strength from all life. From the dead dust, a fragile green shoot slowly emerges, defying the cruel desert heat. Millions of thin stems, swaying gently in the hot wind, spreading across the vast horizon. Delicate white lace petals bloom bravely under the burning sky, hiding a deeply bitter secret. A sudden dry wind tears through the quiet, arid valley, testing the endurance of nature. The fragile petals fall, leaving behind tiny, green, elongated seeds, packing an intense aromatic power. Months of brutal heat bake the living plants entirely brown, forging their ultimate resilient form. The soft seed hardens, becoming rough, like dry, ancient bark, sealing its heavy essential oils. Ancient human hands arrive, carefully plucking the dry brown stems, discovering this powerful hidden scent. A rough hand crushes the brittle seed, releasing thick oils, an aroma of pure earth. Thrown into a fire, the spice creates thick, fragrant smoke, lifting prayers to ancient gods. This tiny, hardened shell survived the worst of natural heat, ready for a darker journey. The merciless sun strikes the ground, turning every single droplet of water into vanishing mist. Deep beneath the burning, cracked soil, fragile white roots desperately push downward, seeking hidden life. Darkness finally blankets the vast dunes, bringing a sudden freezing night wind across the valley. A solitary drop of cold dew gently forms upon the hardened shell, nourishing the spice. Morning light bleeds across the horizon, awakening the resilient plants once again for another trial. Inside the tiny, rigid brown seed, potent chemical defenses silently build up, creating bitter armor. A violent sandstorm sweeps the plains, burying the weaker vegetation in dust, leaving only strength. The rough cumin stalk bends deeply, yet fiercely holds onto its seeds, defying the storm. The raging winds finally die down, leaving a landscape of golden silence under the sky. Intense solar rays hit the surface, baking the rich essential oils further, sealing the aroma. Desert creatures cautiously bypass the plant, repelled by its sharp chemical scent, protecting the future. The outer skin grows thick ridges, forming a microscopic shield of survival against absolute drought. The scorching season nears its end, rendering the wild valley entirely brown, ready for harvest. A shadow falls over the plant as an ancient gatherer leans closer, sensing its magic. Gathered from this harsh, dry earth, the spice prepares for a journey toward eternal death. The rough, harvested seeds travel far, across the vast, shimmering golden dunes, arriving at the Great Nile. Carried within a woven reed basket, the bitter spice enters the shadows of a sacred ancient temple. High priests walk in absolute silence, holding heavy golden vessels of preservation, preparing for the final journey. A heavy stone pestle strikes down, crushing the tough, dry brown seeds, releasing an intensely sharp aroma. Deep beneath the monumental stone pyramids, a secret chamber of death awaits, filled with holy, fragrant smoke. Golden resins mix with crushed cumin, creating a thick, sacred, dark paste, designed to conquer eternity itself. The lifeless body of a king rests upon the cold, stone altar, ready to become a god. Sacred hands gently rub the spice into the hollowed, empty royal shell, locking away all mortal decay. Low chants echo through the stone as the priests invoke ancient gods, begging for everlasting divine protection. Long strips of pure white linen soak in the thick, bitter oils, absorbing the scent of survival. They wrap the fallen mighty ruler, binding the flesh with endless fabric, sealing the body from time. Tiny fragments of the crushed seed embed deeply within the woven threads, a microscopic armor of immortality. The heavy stone door slides shut, plunging the grand chamber into darkness, leaving the dead in silence. In the pitch-black, silent tomb, the potent aroma refuses to fade, standing guard over the king. High above the deeply buried Pharaoh, the relentless desert winds blow forever, unaware of the preserved secret. Centuries pass in absolute suffocating silence, while the potent spice diligently works, fighting the natural decay of flesh. The golden, thick, aromatic resin hardens slowly into a solid protective shell, preserving the royal body forever. Inside the ancient linen threads, tiny, rough cumin particles fiercely hold on, locking the heavy, bitter scent. Moisture tries to invade the tomb, but the sharp chemical oils repel it, keeping the hollow chest dry. A microscopic battle wages silently, deep within the folded layers of fabric, ensuring eternal, majestic, divine life. Outside the grand stone pyramid, mighty empires rise and violently fall apart under the blazing desert sun. The mighty pharaohs fade away, yet their bitter sacred spice secretly survives, waiting for a new dawn. Grave robbers breach the walls, bringing flickering torchlight into the dark chamber, breaking the long, absolute silence. Greedy hands tear the fabric, ripping the ancient preserved linen violently apart, searching for heavy, hidden gold. They ignore the dull brown seeds, tossing the true treasure onto the floor, unaware of its magical power. A stray seed rolls away, resting quietly beneath the cold stone dust, surviving the ruthless human greed. Merchant ships sail the sea, carrying stolen artifacts across the deep waters, bringing cumin to new lands. The rough spice reaches Rome, entering the bustling markets of a republic, ready to conquer another empire. Roman nobles crave the bitterness, demanding heavy sacks of the foreign seeds to flavor their rich banquets. The spice of the dead quickly transforms into a luxury of life, dominating the vast ancient world. The vast Roman Empire aggressively expands, bringing countless new foreign territories under its absolute rule. Deep inside the heavily guarded vaults, golden coins heavily mix with sacks of dry brown seeds. Emperors demand a very steep price, taxing the wealthy foreign merchants for this potent, fragrant luxury. A massive, heavy bronze scale balances, comparing the dull brown rough seeds with pure, solid, heavy silver. Angry citizens deeply resent the toll, calling the greedy emperor a miser for hoarding the sacred spice. An old scroll records the debts, listing the heavily taxed bitter seed as a highly supreme currency. High noblemen gather for grand feasts, drinking rich, heavy, sweet, dark wine to forget the political turmoil. A master chef firmly grinds the seeds, releasing the sharp, earthy, heavy aroma across the entire lavish kitchen. Soldiers heavily march toward the border, carrying small, precious pouches of spice to flavor their dull rations. Inside a worn, rough leather pouch, the crushed brown seeds patiently wait to bring warmth to warriors. The great empire slowly rots away, crumbling under its own massive weight. Despite the hoarded spicy wealth, a beautiful carved, solid marble pillar cracks violently under the intense pressure, destroying the ancient glorious symbol. Barbarians fiercely raid the dying cities, burning the grand noble wooden estates, leaving nothing but black ash. A heavy spilled sack of cumin burns slowly amid the grand ruins, returning its magic to smoke. Rome officially falls into dark shadows, yet the humble, bitter brown seed silently survives the fiery apocalypse. The grand stone monuments slowly crumble, yielding to the unstoppable flow of time, as nature reclaims the earth. From the gray ashes of destruction, a tiny, rough brown seed finally awakens, defying the end of civilizations. Vast golden dunes shift relentlessly forever, burying the forgotten grand royal stone tombs, erasing the memories of kings. The supreme pharaohs lost their power, becoming nothing but scattered, dry, ancient dust, while the spice silently thrived. New merchants emerged from the shadows, carrying the potent bitter seeds extremely far across the legendary Silk Roads. Heavy hooves strike the harsh earth, pounding the dry dirt into fine powder, marching toward a new horizon. A vibrant Grand Eastern market awakens, welcoming the highly treasured earthy brown spice into the heart of Persia. The dull brown seeds rest quietly, absorbing the intense heat of the sun, blending with sweet golden saffron. Wise ancient scholars study the plants, writing heavy, profound medical texts about healing, unlocking the deep, hidden magic. Dark black ink stains the parchment, recording the exact, sharp, potent medicinal recipes, saving lives across the realm. The journey continues into vibrant India, where the sacred fire embraces the seeds, creating a completely new destiny. Hot golden oil envelops the spice, releasing an explosive, warm, deeply intoxicating aroma, awakening the human soul entirely. No longer reserved for dead kings, the earthy flavor feeds the living masses, becoming a true global heartbeat. A heavy, round stone rolls forward, crushing the resilient shells into fine powder, mixing perfectly with vibrant turmeric. The poor and the wealthy share this incredibly dark, bold, bitter, ancient flavor, bound by the same earth. Vast wooden ships cross the furious dark ocean, carrying the ancient, dusty brown seeds to a completely new wild world. Deep inside the dark, damp wooden ship hull, the tough, tiny, bitter, resilient shells survive the long, violent, salty journey. Heavy iron boots strike the golden foreign sand, claiming the vast, untouched, lush territories under the blinding, hot, tropical sun. A rough leather pouch spills the dry spice, hitting the ancient, sacred red soil, mixing with the native, wild earth. Ancient, vibrant native markets embrace the foreign seed, combining it with fiery red peppers to forge incredibly deep new flavors. A heavy, volcanic stone crushes the brown seeds, blending fiercely with bright red chilies, creating a dark, powerful, aromatic paste. Smoke rises from the busy, rustic clay ovens, cooking heavy, rich, magical dark sauces, feeding the newly formed complex society. The thick, deep red sauce slowly boils fiercely, absorbing the sharp, earthy, warm bitterness, locking the magical flavor deeply inside. Cowboys ride across the vast, dusty, lonely plains, carrying small pouches of roasted seeds to flavor their simple campfire meals. A heavy black iron skillet heats the spice, releasing intense clouds of dark smoke under the endless, starry desert sky. Entire nations build their cultural identity around it, passing the sacred, dark, bitter recipes through generations of proud, strong families. Warm, wrinkled hands pass the heavy, earthen bowl, sharing the deeply roasted brown powder, connecting the past with the future. The grand Egyptian kings are now completely forgotten, while their sacred, holy embalming spice rules the vibrant, modern, global tables. A single golden ray illuminates the falling powder, shining upon the dull, rough texture, revealing its absolute, timeless, silent victory. From a mighty symbol of eternal royal death, the humble seed becomes pure life, feeding millions across the vast earth. The long, epic, historical journey ends, bringing this deeply bitter, sacred, ancient spice into every ordinary modern home. The story leaves the fallen empires, zooming extremely fast through the endless time, returning to the quiet, modern kitchen. The familiar, warm, golden morning light gently embraces the very same glass jar, resting peacefully on the wooden counter. A soft, modern human hand reaches, turning the simple, round, metallic lid slowly, opening the ancient, magical, historical vault. The invisible, heavy, aromatic clouds rise, carrying the exact same powerful, bitter scent that once preserved the dead kings. Two gentle fingers take a pinch, holding thousands of years of human survival within a tiny, brown, humble pile. A modern, heavy steel grinder twists, crushing the tough, ancient, dry, brown shells, just like the old stone pestles. The fine, golden brown, magical powder falls gently through the warm morning air, like sands of a fierce storm. It lands softly on warm food, melting perfectly into the rich, simmering broth, releasing its final, hidden, ancient magic. What was once a divine rite now humbly flavors a simple, ordinary breakfast, uniting all of living human history. The grand, majestic empires are gone, but this tough, tiny, bitter brown seed outlived all the supreme, powerful pharaohs. True absolute immortality was never gold. It was hidden inside these fragile plants, growing fiercely in the hot desert. The quiet modern kitchen remains still as the heavy metal lid finally closes, sealing the long, epic, violent history. A highly ordinary small glass jar, quietly guarding the massive, profound, dark secrets of human survival and ancient death. When this sharp, bitter flavor awakens, one must remember the fallen ancient kings and the spice that survived them.